Listen, this is gonna give the new Kraven the Hunter movie a run for its money. And I think it's already given the already made Venom movies and Venom 3 a run for its money. Like, seriously. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I haven't talked about a game for a long time on this channel, and I figured now that Spider-Man 2 is out, the sequel to 2018's Spider-Man game and Miles Morales, both made by Insomniac, now is the best time to talk about Spider-Man 2 for PS5. This is going to contain spoilers. I feel like there's no other way to dance around this game without talking spoilers. So I have to talk about spoilers because I'm going to be talking about major story beats here. So be prepared if you don't want to be spoiled about anything, especially with Kraven and Venom, who are the two main villains of the game. Anything regarding them, now is your chance to cut and run if you haven't finished the game or if you don't know anything that happens with them in the game. You can cut and run now. I won't be offended. Spider-Man 2 picks up mere months after the events of Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, where Miles Morales is grappling with some things. Peter Parker is grappling with some things. He's thinking about retirement, but Kraven the Hunter comes to New York City, and Peter Parker reunites with his friend Harry, and we see the bond between him, MJ, and Peter as well. And it just sets off a huge chain of events that could possibly heal the world. I love that first Spider-Man game. I live streamed it back when it first came out on my PS4. It's on my channel. You can find it. I really didn't know how to live stream because I'm not as hardcore of a gamer anymore. And that's actually something I'm about to talk about because I'm not really addicted to video games anymore. Sports games like a baseball game, I could play for hours on end. But when it comes to actual new games, I wasn't even addicted to Jedi Survivor, which is a fantastic game. I found myself going days and days, even weeks without playing that. I found myself going days and days without playing Hogwarts Legacy. With Spider-Man 2, I could barely put the controller down. You would literally have to force me to put the controller down. It's such a great game. It's honestly one of my favorite experiences I've had with anything Spider-Man. Related media, comic books, video games, movies, TV shows. I've read a few Spider-Man comic books. I have that Sinister Six novel. It's literally one of my favorite Spider-Man stories. I think that this surpasses the first game in terms of gameplay. Maybe not the emotional beats, but the story I think is better. The gameplay is even wider than it already is. You get so many different suits in this game, and one of the things that they add to every suit is that it now comes with a web glide. So you, instead of swinging around the city, if you get high enough and you really want to travel somewhere that's a long distance, you do have fast travel in this game. I didn't use it because I was like, I could just get places quick no matter if I'm swinging or using the web suit. But if you use the web suit with the wings on it, and you can glide around the city, you can actually get places faster than if you're swinging around the city. So I found myself using that a lot. You can also do these web lines where you can shoot a web from one corner of a building to another corner of a different building, and it allows you to be meticulous about how you're going to plan your strategy, wiping out an enemy base, or wiping out an area, or taking out enemies in certain spots. That was something I really liked. It allowed for cool takedowns, silent takedowns, things that expanded on the gameplay of the first one. And when we talk about expansion, yeah, we get the MJ missions again in this game. Oh, the ill-fated MJ missions. Insomniac knows we hate those MJ missions. They really just had to double down and give us MJ. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. This is actually kind of fun. The MJ missions in this game were actually kind of fun because they give her a stun gun now, so you can go stun people. This is how I felt playing as MJ in these missions. She is not John Wick, but she is definitely Joanna Wick. Racking up combos, the fight styles, like certain enemies require you to fight them in certain ways. Like some enemies, you literally have to hit circle to dodge under them and then web them from behind, and then you can start punching them. Some enemies you have to parry a lot. Some enemies you just openly attack them however you want to do. And there are different ways that you can go about certain missions as well. There are stealth missions. I'm a person who, in a game like this, I just want to go balls to the wall, all out. So I don't really go all that stealthy. I try to be stealthy, and if I get caught, I don't redo the mission over again. I just fight the people. That's what I really want to do in a superhero game involving two Spider-Mans who are phenomenal in this game. Each one has their own little quirks. Like there's different powers that their suits have. Like when you get the black suit for Peter Parker, you can hit like, I think it's L1 and square, triangle, circle, or what's the other one? Why am I forgetting the buttons on a PS5 controller? Oh, X. There's certain like abilities you can use with the suit, and there's certain gadgets you can use, and then Miles Morales has his own set of that stuff. When you hit L1 and all those other buttons, his revolves around electricity because as we learned from the last game, the stuff with Exxon? No, Rexon. No, Exxon's a gas station. I never preferred to play as one over the other. I felt that they balanced each other out with the stuff that you could do and the gadgets that you could use with each of their suits and each of their styles. And that's what I really like. The game doesn't force you to play as one of them. It doesn't force you to play as the other. You can freely pick and choose in the open world who you want to play as. My favorite to play as was Spider-Man in the symbiote suit. Left and right, I was stopping crimes on my way to main story missions when he's got his regular suit on, or if I had a different other suit on. But hey, you know what? When you got the black suit symbiote suit on, you gotta act like Spider-Man being a dickhead when you have that symbiote suit on. So I was stopping crimes like mad crazy, but with that black suit, I was just like, nah, I can ignore this crime because I know that's not what Spider-Man would do. Or if he went to go stop the crime, he'd probably do it in a bizarre way. So that's what I did. I just acted like I was a black suit Spider-Man. The emotional beats for the story don't really match the emotional beats for the first one, I don't think. But there's a lot going on for our main characters. MJ and Peter are trying out some different things, like whether or not MJ should move in with Peter. Peter's grappling with the idea of, hey, maybe Miles can look after the city himself. Maybe I need to spend some more time with MJ. And my best friend Harry just came back into the picture. I got to do stuff with him. Miles is grappling with a college essay. He's got a crush at school that he's trying to score with. And then you also have that relationship with the alien symbiote and Peter Parker, and how that affects MJ, how that affects Miles, and how it slowly consumes Peter Parker. Out of all the things we've seen from Venom, Spider-Man 3, this is the best adaptation of the black suit symbiote Spider-Man I have seen to date. Spider-Man 3 looks like a joke compared to this. The first Venom movie looks like a joke. Venom 2 looks like a joke as well. Might as well not even make Venom 3 because what's the point of trying now? You have Kraven the Hunter as one of the main villains, and I knew that this was going to happen when they announced that Kraven and Venom were the villains in this game, at least the main villains, is that one of them was going to replace the other, but I was hoping it wouldn't go down the Dark Knight Rises route where one of them is like the henchman for one of them. I do feel as if it is predictable in that way, that you're going to have Kraven for the first 2/3 and then Venom for the last third, which is essentially what happens. But I never felt like Kraven was Venom's bitch. Kraven gets taken out in one of the most brutal ways possible. He gets his head bitten off by Venom. It was never that thing that happened in The Dark Knight Rises where Bane is built up as the main villain and then gets downgraded to henchman and gets taken out like that. That's not what happens. This whole story with Harry being Venom. There is no Eddie Brock in this game. The Venom in this game is Harry Osborn, and that might off-put some comic book purists and Spider-Man purists. Be like, no, you can't have Harry Osborn as Venom. He's gonna be like the Hobgoblin or the New Goblin or whatever it is. But trust me, guys, for the story that these guys are trying to tell, Insomniac Games, it works. It's my favorite adaptation of Venom. it's built up throughout the game. The opening cutscene of the game, you just know, yep, Harry's gonna be Venom. It's a bit predictable in that regard too, and it's a little on the nose, but I think the emotional beats that they hit and what they actually do with him, especially when he's fighting along Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, and Peter Parker dies, and then Harry saves his life by giving him the symbiote suit, and that's what ultimately consumes Peter and makes him start acting like an enormous asshole the whole game for most of the game. That's honestly one of the best things I have ever seen. I was really on board with it, and I know that there's been some complaints that it comes in way too late into the game. I don't think so. I think you really have to build up to that. Each mission is a good length. And even the shorter ones where you're not Spider-Man, those honestly have something to do with building the relationship between our core trio here. And that was really the big emotional crux for me with the story of this game. And I loved every second of it, from everything with Craven, from everything with Venom. I already know those damn filmmakers at Sony are playing this game and be like, oh, Venom had wings in this game. Venom had wings. Give him wings in Venom 3. He's got to have the wings in Venom 3. He has to. This game did it, so we can do it, and we can do it better. And they're not going to do it better. I already know that's going to happen in Venom 3. They're going to give him fucking wings. I already know it. Please don't do that, Sony, but you're too dumb. I also felt like I said, I said that this was addicting for me, but even in the moments where you're not playing, like it feels like you're playing a gigantic Spider-Man movie. One of the things that made Uncharted so great on PlayStation was that it was essentially an elongated movie that you're playing. It never felt like it took all the control out of your hands. That's what Insomniac does here, even in some of the cutscenes. You still have to hit buttons to do stuff. And I love that. I love that they make you more involved as a player. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite superhero games of all time, if not my favorite. The story, the gameplay, the expansion of the gameplay from the first one, just how everything coalesces together and what they do with the villains, what they do with the emotional core, even if it's not as strong as the emotional bond from the first one. It's all really good stuff. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man experiences ever. I love this game. I don't think I have ratings for games, do I? I'll say this game is an A. I'll give it an A. We'll go a letter grade. I'll give it an A. So if you guys have played Spider-Man 2 and completed it, I want to know what you think about it. Drop me some feedback in the comment section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.